From our 7 Tasmania studios, your nightly news with Kim Miller begins now.
An emotional vigil has been held marking the 10th anniversary of Tasmanian teenager Eden Westbrook's tragic passing. Her siblings paying tribute to their late sister as they continue their push for more answers about her death.
Commemorating the life of a bright young girl gone too soon. People gathering in solidarity a decade on from the death of teenager Eden Westbrook.
Oh, it was beautiful. It was amazing. So, it really was heartfelt and touching.
Even if one person shows up, that's something to me. That means that somebody out there, it was cared enough to show up. Which the fact that more than one person did, I felt so honoured.
I think it would resonate with anyone hearing about the facts of the case.
Her siblings, Dante and Sky, continuing their impassioned push for answers surrounding their sister's passing, which was ruled a suicide in 2016 by the coroner. But her family, supporters and some experts are disputing the outcome, claiming Eden's case was flawed.
A plethora of things have become completely disregarded that we've requested, very important matters of the case.
Unable to obtain evidence or photos used by authorities investigating the incident, making it all the more difficult for them to find closure.
No one deserves to have to fight an unjust system for 10 years. No family deserves that. When someone passes, families deserve to grieve.
The siblings renewing their calls for an inquiry into how their sister's case was handled. Their cause backed by Senator Jackie Lambie and her party's state MP.
The whole Eden case needs to be re-looked at. It needs to be forensically looked at.
A state government spokesperson says the Attorney-General has no power to intervene after a coronial investigation is completed, and that consultation is underway for legislation that clarifies access to coronial reports to ensure Tasmanian families are given the closure they deserve. Closure that couldn't come soon enough for the Westbrooks. Anthony Dodd, 7 Tasmania News.
A new program is helping supercharge Tasmania's workforce of sparkies as the state transitions to more clean power sources. 11 apprentices have signed up to the federal government's new energy initiative, which offers $10,000 to help with cost of living pressures for those studying to become renewable energy electricians.
After the previous 2 weeks we've gone through, I'm just feeling inspired, supported, and I just want to make the most of the opportunity.
In Tassie, there's been great support historically for the trades. We know, though, that that's not keeping up with demand, so we need to do better.
The apprentices will train with Tas Networks as part of the program. The salmon industry's peak body is facing accusations it's gone into hiding while a string of environmental concerns plague the sector. The allegations levelled as a battle brews over a fishy mystery at a southern Tasmanian beach.
A shoreline discovery causing a stink.
There were chunks of what appear to be salmon flesh, partially broken down, very, very oily.
Environmental activists claim pieces of rotten salmon have washed up on Verona Sands Beach.
The high tide line was full of white chunks.
An accusation Huon Aquaculture flat out denies.
It's fish oil and not salmon chunks. There is not parts of whole fish washing ashore of beaches.
It sent the clean-up crew in, insisting there's no threat and the material has been sent off for testing.
Fish oil itself is not harmful, it's non-toxic to pets or people, and we're engaging with the EPA with our analysis.
Regardless, it's a fish farm mess which has the Greens seeing red.
The EPA and the Tasmanian government should come down on this like a ton of bricks. This is disgusting and gross, and it's what happens when an industry believes it is above the law.
Fully compliant with our requirements in our environmental licences.
The pollution concerns the latest to hit the sector. Following accusations, thousands of dead salmon have been pumped out of their pens at a tassal lease on the Tasman Peninsula.
What appear to be rotting salmon flesh washing off the back of the barge into the waterway, and that goes against their licence conditions.
Salmon Tasmania is refusing to address any of the concerns, saying it's an operational matter for the companies.
It's simply not good enough that Salmon Tasmania hides away from the difficult conversations when they need to be had.
Victoria Risto, 7 Tasmania News.
Various alerts remain in place for the state's west, including a watch and act warning for Reese Dam and Tikawappa. More than 94,000 hectares of Tasmania's wilderness and World Heritage areas have been burnt over the past 2 weeks. Crews currently taking full advantage of the cooler weather before temperatures are expected to rise again towards the end of the week. Those in affected areas and surrounds are being urged to monitor the Tas Alert app. Thankfully, there have been no injuries. Dramatic images now of a car fire in Launceston's CBD this afternoon after the Subaru Forester burst into flames. The car caught alight on St John Street near Civic Square around 2 o'clock this afternoon. Quick-thinking crews leapt into action working to extinguish the blaze. The road reopened soon after. No injuries were reported. A peak health organisation is hoping to ensure no one is left behind when it comes to dealing with mental health. They have developed what the group is describing as a game-changing app to turn a bad day around in just minutes.
For a lot of Tasmanians, struggling with their mental health can be a daily battle.
One thing that we know is really important for people's wellbeing is a sense of belonging.
A new app called Take a Minute, launched by the Mental Health Council of Tasmania, is aiming to help, providing daily prompts for users to share or upload photos to boost their mood.
And at the end of the challenge, they actually get a wellbeing statement produced and like a visual collage.
So we're advocating for the user. We're trying to make every step of the app, the process, as easy as possible.
The initiative also focusing on a group approach, allowing users to share their images with others around them. 20 businesses already signing up to introduce the new app in their workplaces when it becomes available in May.
Not only can you monitor the impact and the improvement in yourself, you can also start seeing what actually helps the people around you.
We're hoping to create some positive change in the community. We're hoping that people will be given the tools to sort of manage their mental health.
The founders also planning to roll it out in schools, all in a bid to help more Tasmanians tackle mental health challenges head on.
It not only gives individuals more tools to be working with, but it also offers opportunities for groups to come together.
Lily Thompson, 7 Tasmania News.
Murph is back out on the road, taking in what you can see locally as part of Tourism Tasmania's Longer Days offering. Now, Murph, you're certainly getting out and about. Where in Tassie are you joining us from this week?
Thank you very much, Kim. We're here at Swansea. Where else would you want to be this time of the day and this time of the year? The longer days of summer are still with us, and we're at Swansea Beach Chalets in the heart of the East Coast. Oh, and Lisa's with us. Hello, Lisa.
Hi, Murph. Thought you might like one of those.
Always do, Lisa. Never short of needing one of those. Tell us about this wonderful accommodation you've got here. What have you got on offer?
Beautiful beachfront, Murph. A mixture of 1 and 2 bedroom chalets.
And some of the panorama we see out the front, all the way across to the Hazards, Great Oyster Bay, and we're at the heartland of the East Coast.
You are. We are the gateway to the Freycinet National Park, Douglas Apsley National Park and Maria Island.
And of course we're also in the heart of some of the nicest wine growing regions as well.
Absolutely, to the south and to the north, just 15 minutes away, Murph.
It's just a fantastic place to be, Swansea. Lots of little eateries to go to as well. And of course, summer is winding up, but winter is your favourite time of year.
It is indeed. Still days, perfect sunrises, beautiful sunsets from the west reflecting onto the Hazards National Park.
Not far for anyone in Tasmania to come and see during the longer days of summer and the shorter days of winter. Lisa, thank you very much for that. Well, Kim, I've got a bit to get through between now and weather time, so I'll see you soon.
See you then, Murph. Our state's leading basketball association is crying out for the community sport to be made a priority. A new study finding Tasmania needs 30 more courts to meet demand. Many players forced to use inadequate facilities.
A severe lack of basketball courts seeing local clubs call foul.
This is borderline embarrassing for a capital city not to have one basketball court for their kids to play on.
Basketball Tasmania's statewide strategy identifying an urgent need for more investment in the sport. Data concluding 2/3 of players are part of clubs without dedicated club rooms, the majority left to use ageing and inadequate infrastructure.
The 31 court shortfall right now, and over the next 10 years that goes out to 40 courts. There are a number of facilities in the pipeline.
There are plans for the construction of 13 courts spread across Elphin, Devonport, Claremont and Newtown, as well as the delayed Wilkinson's Point project. Yet participation has continued to soar, especially in the northwest by 22%. That figure, just 2% in the south, is feared to be thanks to a lack of facilities.
We know that there is going to be a wave of kids coming through Tasmanian basketball that want to play. They want to play in fit-for-purpose facilities.
Dad made me do it and I like it because we get to bounce and run around.
The development application for the Home for Hobart project here at Rugby Park in Newtown has already commenced. The project valued at about $25 million. Clubs hoping to seek federal funding in the next election, with hopes Tassie might just be able to host national championships in the near future.
So if you're a kid in Tassie and you make a state team, you're forking out every year to go away. You never get a chance to play at home in Tasmania.
Ruby Cairns, 7 Tasmania News.
Health insurer St Luke's is demanding an urgent meeting with key stakeholders. Following growing speculation, Healthscope will scrap maternity services at the Hobart Private Hospital due to staffing shortages. St Luke's says it's seeking to explore possible solutions before briefing the Federal Health Minister, Mark Butler. The facility delivers more than 600 babies each year. Healthscope has been contacted for comment. Keen musicians are putting the final touches on their performances ahead of this year's Clarence Jazz Festival. The event, which starts Thursday, normally attracts up to 6,000 people over the 4 days.
We really try to think about including the hardcore jazz for the jazz lovers, but also things like neo-soul, funk, Latin music, and there's a little bit of pop thrown in there as well.
It delivers something different every single year, and that's why for the past 29 years, this has just grown in popularity.
Performances on Thursday and Friday night are free. Well, mallets are swinging and balls shooting through hoops this week as Tasmania becomes a centre of the croquet world. The best players travelling from every corner of the globe for a shot at glory.
It seems like a simple task. Whack the ball through the hole. But that's easier said than done when you put the best of the best up against each other. There's bound to be frustration, jubilation and a treat for the crowd at St Leonard's, where 8 nations are competing for the Open Shore Shield, its namesake watching on from the stands.
Come over to nice Tasmania and watch the event. All over the world is croquet is played and all the best players have come to play here.
No luck of the Irish today, losing to the Aussies in singles and doubles. Ed Wilson making life very difficult for his opponent.
Look, when you're on, and the greens went my way.
Upsetting your opposition's game with a nice hard bump is all par for the course.
It's got that unique balance between physical skill and it's got a high level of tactical skill as well. So you need to be thinking several shots ahead, a little bit like snooker.
Teams have travelled from as far as Spain, Egypt and South Africa for a shot at glory.
The team that we're playing today, America, they've got 3 world champions playing in their team of 4. So it's short, tough going.
But it's no walk in the park for the Yanks either.
It's kind of difficult when you have the top 8 countries in the world and you're putting the top 4 or 5 people from every country. There's not any matches that are going to be won easily out here.
With current world number 1 Robert Fletcher, the Aussies have an ace up their sleeve for a home win.
We've got the best player in the world and a great team behind him. So I think as a unit we can really go deep in this tournament.
The comp runs all week. Nick Kelly, 7 Tasmania News. South Australia is back at the crease for a second time in an incredible opening day in the Shield. Tasmania taking 8 wickets for 21 runs from the ladder leaders in 58 minutes, thanks to a career best effort from a quick. At stumps a few moments ago, South Australia made none for 24 in their second innings. Match ball in hand after a spell to remember. Just an hour earlier, Kieran Elliott was commencing his reign of terror. Nathan McSweeney, the first victim, his next wicket quickly following.
Edges his court low down and slip.
As Bo Webster joined the party a few balls later, things weren't looking good for the hosts. Elliott returning the next over to step things up.
Oh, he's bowled him. He's got him. South Australia are now in a spot of bother.
Bother had become crisis by the time Gabe Bell got his third. But Elliott wasn't done yet, rounding things out with 2 more.
Straight up in the air, and it's going to be a tricky one at mid-off, but it's taken.
Career best bowling figures of 6 for 23, sending the Sackers packing for their 3rd lowest total against Tasmania, who themselves came quickly crashing back to earth.
Caught behind first ball.
Brendan Doggett continuing the bloodbath, 3 scalps in 3 overs.
Silk out for a duck. The wickets continue to fall here in Adelaide.
The flow of wickets halting only momentarily as Beau Webster and Aidan O'Connor teamed up for a 40-run partnership. But Webster would hand Lloyd Pope his wicket on 28 for an effortless cordon bowled.
That's a soft dismissal from Beau Webster.
And after his heroics with the ball, Kieran Elliott succumbing that same over. Doggett then grabbing his 6th to end the Tigers' innings 8 runs in front.
That's the end of...
Might be a quick match. Meanwhile, it's crunch time for the Tigers' WNCL side as they look to keep their finals hopes alive. Put through their paces for the last time before facing Victoria tomorrow. The squad will have to win their last 2 games and have luck on their side if they want any chance of a 4th consecutive title.
Yeah, it's likely that we will need a bonus point at some point over the next two games. So, we'll need something from our batters at some point to really challenge that.
They'll be without star Lizelle Lee for tomorrow's game due to a calf injury, but she will be considered for Friday's clash. Jack jumper Fabian Krislovic will make his Australian debut, called into the 12-man Boomers squad. He joins Burnie's Jacob Furphy, who retains his spot for the Asia Cup qualifiers against Indonesia and Thailand next week. Meanwhile, fellow Northwester Rain Smith has been a force to be reckoned with since joining America's NCAA college basketball comp, landing his 100th three-pointer of the season for Louisville in their 75-60 win over Notre Dame. He's one of only 2 players to hit triple figures for three-pointers made so far this season. And it's been a tough run for the Tassie Tridents in Moama, dropping down the Bowls Premier League ladder on day 2. Losing to Melbourne Extreme in a tie-break, 2-0 this afternoon. Earlier in the day, it was another tie-break, this time 1-0, giving Adelaide Pioneers the points over Tassie. Let's hope they can do a bit better tomorrow, Kim. Good luck to them.
Yeah, thank you, Nick. Well, Peter Murphy is hard at work on location and will join us after the break with a weather forecast, if he's got time to join us, of course.
And welcome back. Well, over the last 3 months, we've been able to visit some of Tasmania's most beautiful places and iconic locations as summer has been with us, but doesn't matter if it's summer, winter, autumn or spring, it's a good time to get out and have a look around our backyard. Our backyard today has been behind Swansea Beach Chalets as we look at the wonderful Great Oyster Bay. I'm going to move inside as we take a bit of a look at how the weather went today. And Hobart recorded 19 degrees today, Launceston 23, Devonport 22, Burnie a high of 20. Now some temperatures were up to 8 degrees below average, and I thought we felt that, didn't we? Low Head and St Helens 22, Flinders Island 21 degrees, Bushy Park and King Island 19 today, and Strawn a top of 17. Zeehan received 8 millimetres of rain overnight to 9 a.m. as cloud gathered over the west and south today, patchy cloud over the rest of the state. A tropical low brought cloud to the far north of the country, and most of Australia, though, is cloud-free at the moment. Tomorrow, the high builds to our west as a trough extends right across the mainland. Our winds tomorrow still quite strong, west to southwesterly and up to 30 knots and to 20 knots over the northeast of the state. We do have a strong wind warning for all Tasmanian coastal waters with the exception of the central west coast. To the forecast for tomorrow, Hobart, the chance of a shower, 50-50 chance, 18 the top, Geefston 18 and showery, Bothwell a high of 16 degrees, a partly cloudy 22 in Launceston tomorrow, Devonport and Cressy highs of 21, fine and 20 in Burnie, but showers for Strawn and King Island. And no rain for the east coast, St Helens a high of 23, Swansea 22 and Orford a high of 20. Moving ahead, and on Thursday, fine apart from showers over the west and far south, an inland frost on Friday, followed by a fine partly cloudy day, and on Saturday, fine and mostly sunny, a possible late shower over the northwest. Up north tomorrow, a warm sunny 35 in Perth tomorrow, 26 the high for Adelaide, a shower in Melbourne, a top of 20, a shower or 2 for Sydney and Brisbane. And current conditions in Swansea, perfect for cuddling up or snuggling on a little couch, maybe at the Swansea Beach Chalets, one of the many places you can get out and about and visit while summer is with us for a little bit longer. But as we said earlier, any time of the year is great along Tasmania's east coast. Kim, I tried to book a room here tonight, went online. No, fully booked, but I've encouraged Peter and Lisa here to try to encourage somebody to leave for me. I hope it works out.
There's room on that couch. Thanks, Merv. That is all your news for now. I'll be back later with updates. Thanks for joining us tonight. Good night.